peoples! Okay, so today Cammie is not going to be in this video. I know I say that with a smile, but she will be in future videos. If none of you have any idea what I'm talking about, Cammie is a friend who did a video with me, the last video that will be linked below. It was our top 10 anime couples, and apparently we were yelling a lot, and I forgot that there was a lot of yelling. So yeah, today's gonna be a calmer video, just a quick book review for you guys, and that's gonna be it, and then I'll let you go. Okay, Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia, however you say that name. We already know I have a pronouncing problem, but as my friend kindly pointed out in the last video, I just want to say real quick that I do remember the names of characters. I just have a hard time pronouncing them sometimes. Sometimes, okay? Not all the time, but most of the time. But still, I remember their names. Off topic. Anyways, back to this book. This book was really hyped since it came out, so a lot of people were talking about it. I really don't like hyped books, so I tried to stay away from that, which was really hard when it was all anyone wanted to talk about. So yeah. However, it was one of the first books I read in February, and I really liked it. I was very surprised. I was not, per se, in love with it, but I did really enjoy it, and for a book that had so much hype, it really did live up to it, though in a couple spots it did not live up to it very much for me, but yeah. I'm kind of weird, so certain things that everyone else likes, I do not like at all. So for those of you who don't know what this is about, Eliza Merk is a teenage girl in high school. She is shy, weird, awkward, and friendless, and she loves the online world more than the real one, because online, she is the anonymous creator of a wildly popular webcomic series, Monsters C. And someone transfers to her school, Wallace, who happens to be a huge fanfiction writer for her webcomic. And so they become friends, and he starts to draw her out of her shell, and she starts to really like the offline world, as they call it in the book, better, about as much as the online world. She's kind of like in both worlds, which, yeah, doesn't work too well for her. But, in the synopsis, it also mentions that the reveal of who she is as Lady Constellation, the author of the webcomic, messes up a lot. However, while it says that in the synopsis, it doesn't really happen until later in the book, so I kept expecting it a lot earlier on, and for that to be kind of getting back everything throughout the book. However, it happened later and really just bombed. Just bombshell when you did not expect it. So yeah, and considering I'd spent most of the book expecting and waiting for it, that was kind of shocking for me. But so it was really interesting. I liked the writing and drawing aspect of the book, how it mentioned, she talked a lot about her love for her work and stuff, and as a writer myself, that was really something that I liked a lot. I haven't read a lot of books that have to do with that, so this book was definitely my cup of tea. When I heard about it, I really wanted to read it, and since I don't like hyped books, that's why I tried to stay away, because I knew I wanted to read it. But yeah, the fanfiction writing too, like everything, I liked all of that. And actually throughout the book, there's drawings of the webcomic and stuff, and I really liked it a lot. It was pretty interesting, and how Eliza describes the process of her work was really interesting. I had not read that before in a book, and I really liked that. I also really liked her fan base when Wallace introduces her to his other friends that are not online friends. So Eliza has only had 2 best friends before, and she only talks to them online, like they're online friends. And Wallace introduces her to his friends that are not online friends. So that was actually pretty awkward and interesting. It was awkward for Eliza, but it was not awkward for me to watch because it wasn't me being awkward, so that made it better. But the fan base, they're part of it, and it just was very interesting and entertaining part of the book. How readers would send her cosplays and stuff, and when they went to a party and they dressed as characters from her webcomic, it was very interesting. I liked that a lot. So when a book actually goes into that, surprisingly there's several contemporaries that to do with fangirls, fan base, fandoms and stuff. I didn't know that, otherwise I probably would have read contemporaries a lot sooner. But the romance progress was also pretty good. So they're friends and they're both really awkward, and that was kind of interesting to read about. And it gets better as it goes on. So it was kind of like steady. It wasn't a badly written one at all. Half the time when a book is really good, the romance will be really rushed and stuff. It was really steady in this one and not bad at all. They both knew they liked each other. They just didn't want to make it too awkward kind of thing. So it wasn't too much drama with that, which obviously I should have read the signs that meant there would be drama way later on, like a lot more drama. So I didn't though. So I was not prepared for all the drama later. And that actually leads to the reveal. When Eliza is revealed to be the famous author, how it happens, spoilers, is her parents, and this is pretty far in the book, towards the end, and I didn't expect it to be that far in. I expected it way sooner, at least in the middle, but I was very surprised by that. I actually was thinking it wouldn't happen till the very end. But anyways, her parents put in the newspaper for the school in the town that no one reads that she is the author of a webcomic named Monstrous Sea. And since her parents have never looked it up or anything, they don't know that it's famous. And so everyone finds out, everyone's freaking out. Her teacher has a tattoo from the webcomic, and Eliza is freaking out. And it was, if it was me, it wouldn't be, I mean, I would obviously freak out, like, who wouldn't freak out when it was a secret and then it's just really out there, especially when you're that famous and stuff. But the way Wallace reacted, there was no reason for that. Yes, his life was not as good as Eliza's, and yes, but like, he listened to her and she explained she was planning to tell him, and she tried to tell him, and then he's like, yeah, I probably would have done the same thing if it was me. But then he decides to go be a jerk about a lot of things when Eliza is exposed to a lot of hate mail and all kinds of stuff from fans and stuff, and she has a lot of panic attacks, and she literally can't even look at her drawing stuff anymore. She can't look at a pen, so she's throwing everything out of her room. Like, her world is imploding, all this stuff's going on, and we have Wallace going being a jerk and self-pity and stuff. So that part I really didn't like. So with the rest of the book, since there wasn't that much drama like with the romance and stuff, I should have seen that it would have been a ton of drama later, but I didn't. And that part I didn't particularly like, because she explained and he made it seem like he was listening and gonna understand, and then he just really wanted to be a stuck-up jerk. So that part I really didn't like. But the good part about the reveal was the little brothers. Eliza's little brothers finally come out of their shell, and they stand up for her, and they're hanging out with her, and they talk to her. Turns out they've been fans of her webcomic series, and they kept her secret from their best friends. They were really proud that their sister had made this thing, and they loved it and enjoyed it a lot, but they never told anyone because they respected her wish to keep it a secret. And they actually stand up for her a lot and stuff. So I really, really liked them a lot there. It shows them throughout the book several times, but mostly not a lot, because Eliza thinks they hate her because she is different from them. She doesn't like anything they do, so she thought they hated her because she wasn't the kind of sister they wanted. But it turns out they all care for each other and stuff, and it was really nice. And I think that kind of made up a bit for the Wallace issues going on at the same time. However, that did not make me forgive Wallace at all, because Eliza made some bad decisions with all this stuff going on, she was scared and all kinds of stuff and had to see a therapist. And a ton of stuff. It got pretty crazy, and with Wallace being a huge jerk, actually causing some of these things, was, I was not okay with it. However, at the end, it did turn out okay. However, I still am kinda, I would have preferred Wallace do a little bit more begging, just saying, because he was a jerk for quite a while. So basically, this book was kind of like Freak Out Time with Eliza Merk. So, and I really like the name. She's saying in the first chapter how she doesn't really like her name a lot because it seems like a kind of fictional character name and something that she doesn't feel like she is in the real world. But it's actually a pretty nice name. So she seems to complain about a lot of things, even though they weren't things you shouldn't really complain about. And it was really just a lot of misunderstanding and miscommunication on her part and stuff, and on the other side's part. But it was made up for a lot and was really good by the end. So I rated this probably 4 stars, maybe 3.5 stars or 4 stars, one of those, because while I did really enjoy it and like it a lot, there was some things that were not my cup of tea and stuff, and I didn't quite enjoy as much, which I discussed. So yeah, that's about it. So it's not an all-time favorite, but it is definitely one I liked a lot and might reread in the future. So yeah. So I thought the name Eliza and Her Monsters was referencing just to her webcomic. Turns out it's kind of referencing that, but also something else, which if you read the book, you'll understand. But I did not at first. I didn't even expect that. So I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't. So if you have read this, please let me know what you thought of it. If you have not read it, what are you currently reading? And have you heard of it? What are your kind of thoughts on it so far? Thank you guys for watching. And while I did not love it, it was still pretty good. So I would suggest reading it if it sounds like something you'd be interested in. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.